Pickpocket is included in Sight and Sound's greatest films of all time. A New Leaf is considered by The New Yorker as one of the best romantic comedies ever made. Crime in Plain Sight is a crown jewel of both films. How do they depict manipulation, and are they challenging the same issues? Michelle's crimes are non-violent, petty thefts. They are oxymoronically defined by the intimacy required to execute them. Bresson follows Michelle's movements by highlighting the sensuality that accompanies the art of stealing in public, which emanates through the screen. The effortless rhythms of a perfect execution, defined by the smooth and silent finger movements. Its choreography with an unorthodox way of dancing. Henry's plan involves emotional manipulation and seduction. First, steal the heart, then get rid of her, and then steal the wealth. Little did he know that as the plan unfolds, he would develop unwanted affection towards the unsuspecting Henrietta. Henry is hesitant, but in order to be successful, he has to get close and intimate with Henrietta. Both crimes require intimate access to victims. The violation is subtle, unnoticed. Proximity is key. The approach is nonchalance. The men are emotionless. Bresson specifically wanted the non-professional actor to approach stealing without any hint of sentiment. He read the takes until emotion was drained from the actor's eyes. He gave space for the audience to project their own obsessions and daily mechanisms and numbness. May casts Mathau, an actor known and loved for his droopy hangdog face. He's unsentimental and disinterested in either love or labor. He's merely putting on a performance for the sake of a means to an end. Detachment doesn't just define their strategy. Detachment is their strategy. When emotion is missing, the actions become more and more methodical, less and less human, less and less considerate to everybody else. Both of them scout for victims in plain sight. Both argue, execute, and converse about them in public.
She doesn't deserve to live. Forget I said that.
This openness invites satire that arises out of their own oblivion and arrogance. The belief that they're superior and smarter is accompanied by the absence of fear of getting caught. Michel often acts as though he wishes to be caught, subconsciously. The risky proximity and conversations with the cop indicate that the cop not only has a hunch, but knows. It is a game of cat and mouse. The truth looms like a dark cloud above every encounter and conversation. Even the fact that he doesn't want to see his mother suggests signs of guilt and shame. His corrupted soul is longing for some sort of redemption. When he's finally caught, his romantic feelings unleash, ironically at a very inconvenient time. The woman who was so close to him throughout this time, caring about him and his mother, is now separated from him through metal bars. A physical and emotional separation caused by his own actions. Peace and love were so close, but now it seems too late. While Henry never bothered to consider the possibility of a consequence, by the end of A New Leaf, he ends up facing a growing fondness towards Henrietta. A hint of guilt and skepticism shape his memorable grumpy face. There's a moment where it looks like he's about to confess, ready to admit his true intentions and the fact that he's not good for her. Could Henrietta have known? Could she have realized at some point throughout the film? Henrietta might be naive, sweet, and geeky, but she's intelligent. It seems to me as though she's decided to play along, since her love for Henry is genuine.
I know that this isn't exactly what you planned.
What?
But will you mind doing it very much?
Being a history instructor?
It is a marriage of convenience after all, and she's enjoying it, pulling him in with her own charming, quirky, and clumsy nature. While Henry is never caught in a literal sense, he ends up tangled up in some sort of newfound feelings of affection and care. a care beyond himself, even if it's not stereotypically romantic. Michelle is coming from a place of scarcity, while Henry is coming from a place of privilege. They prefer to commit a crime in order to acquire wealth rather than to succumb to labor like the average ordinary man. Legal work is beyond them. Deception and shortcuts are not. One is justifying his actions through the belief that he is meant for greatness, while the other is fighting for his status and wealth for the sake of a comfortable life. Pickpocket is highly associated with Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, about a man with a holier-than-thou attitude. He justifies his crimes by convincing himself that there are obstacles on his great path to success that need to be eliminated. Can crime really be justified if the ordinary man believes he is in fact extraordinary? Can a man choose for himself whether he is above the law, above the social constructs and unwritten rules? The consequences of acting within your own interest, perhaps as a form of existential defeat, is in the heart of both stories. It's a defense mechanism at its core. To act beyond the norms and outside of society's rules is to prove something to yourself, a fake sense of achievement and worthiness. I've taken the courtesy of comparing a new leaf with the importance of being earnest. Both incorporate witty humor and absurdist, paradoxical statements to critique the upper class. Marriage and love are treated either as conveniences or inconveniences. There is no in between. Proprieties are mere facades. Performance is manipulation. May treats murder and marriage as comedic tools. Henry puts on the mask of a gentleman. The play of names is also quietly clever, both the double meaning of earnest and the satirical mirroring of the names Henry and Henrietta. Therefore, crime is not the only player sneaking in plain sight. Humor is also there, not only embedded in the dialogue, but all around the cinematic language that May masterfully indulges in, whether via images, mannerisms, slapstick lines, or names. Bresson and May expose how internalizing a personal goal to such a degree can result in clouded consciousness. According to the protagonist, crime is not only justified, but necessary. Morality and ethics are partially social constructs after all. Michelle and Henry's modus operandi reek of a distinct style, irony, and superiority. They operate within their own constructed morality bubbles in an effort to gain wealth and feed their ego, which illuminates the hollowness in their lives. As Michelle ends up facing punishment, he realizes how in need of intimacy he really was. Henry realizes he's falling in love, and instead of rejecting intimacy, he finally caves in. Was love the medicine these men were overlooking this whole time, represented by two sweet and intelligent women? Or was it just another tool to expose how egocentric their lives had been? The ironic use of intimacy and the satirical public execution of the crimes is a subversion of expectations. It indicates the fragility of morality and the consequences of acting without a moral compass, without empathy or consciousness.